Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today for our question and answer session on the Export Pathways program with Najib Lawand from Export Connect. The Western Australian Government, through the Department of Primary Industries and Regional Development, is proud to present to you the Export Pathways program, which is designed for WA agri-food businesses who are interested in beginning their export journey or who have undertaken steps on the export pathway already and are keen to develop their skills and capabilities in this area. So without further ado, I'd love to introduce Najib. Najib, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and Export Connect?
Thank you, Nikki. Yes, so I have over 25 years experience in the food and agribusiness export space. So in the private sector, public sector, and not-for-profit sector. So I started off by representing Australian brands in the Middle East markets, over 150 brands. I then created my own brands of food and agri products, in particular in the health food snacking space, specifically for the Asian markets. I then created and delivered export programs for New South Wales government, and then took that through to Food Innovation Australia Limited, so at a national level. And then in the last almost 5 years, I founded Export Connect. And during this time, we've delivered over 250 projects for 150 clients, helped them get into over 20 markets, predominantly in Southeast Asia, North Asia, Middle East, North America, and the UK. And in that time, the projects that we've done delivered are around building the capabilities and knowledge of clients to then prepare them to get into markets and connecting them with pre-qualified buyers. So clients we've done work for include Woolworths, Chobani, Master Foods, Bircham Waite, Simplot, and the like. And within the workshop programs that we deliver, we've actually delivered over 120 workshops. We've delivered pathway programs, of course, the one that we have co-designed with WA DPIRD is the crown in the jewel. But we've also delivered it across New South Wales, Queensland, Victoria, South Australia, and Tasmania. Of the 120 workshops we've delivered, we actually have 100% recommendation to industry peers from those that have attended those workshops. I guess the stat we're most proud of, Nikki, is that of all the projects that we've delivered, 55% in the last 12 months have been repeat projects with and 70% of our income has been from repeat work. And the balance of the projects that we've delivered, 80% of them have been recommended to us by our clients. So I guess there's no better validation than in the responses from your clients for the work that you deliver. So super excited to be working with WA companies again for this second edition of the Pathway program. First one went really well, and we worked with their really large companies through to companies that have basically been in the domestic market for a short period of time, seen some good results, and are wanting to get into export.
Thanks, Najib. It's really great to hear about your wealth of experience and what you'll bring to the participants. Now, can you tell us why you think it's important for aspiring or new exporters to be part of the Export Pathways program being delivered by the Department of Primary Industries and Regional Development, instead of perhaps attending a one-off workshop or buyer event?
Well, Nikki, that's a really good question. And first of all, I'd like to say that one-off workshops or events can be good if you're looking for very specific market intelligence or looking to build a very specific capability where you may have a gap. What I do know, though, is for businesses that are embarking on their export journey, attending these workshops, they often walk away wondering what's next. And for those that are experienced exporters, they walk away from those workshops saying, well, that was okay, but it wasn't very specific to my category. It wasn't very specific to what I need as a meat producer or as a wine producer or as a FMCG type branded product. So why the pathway program has more strength and is more likely to achieve a stronger outcome for companies that want to participate in it, as opposed to a one-off event, is because we go through the whole pathway from setting your vision, setting your goals, resourcing, through to market selection, understanding which markets to go to, through to understanding your competitors, pitching, meeting buyers eventually at the end of the day. So there's no sense or feeling of what comes next, because next is covered. The other thing with this program is we keep them in relatively small groups. So we are looking at delivering this in groups of 5, 6, something like that. So when we do tailor the workshops, it's specifically to the categories that are represented in that group and specifically catered to the markets of interest for that group. So there's no hit and miss. Everything that's delivered is pretty much hit. In terms of buyer events, these are great, and but often the feedback that we hear is companies go and attend and pitch, but the buyer's not right for them, the market's not right for them, the channel that the buyers are wanting to service are not the channels that the supplier wants to get into, and often actually the companies are not prepared for the buyer meeting. They turn up and they pitch the Australian pitch and don't get a result. So often the feedback is we want buyer events, but we want to be prepared for them, and we want the meetings to be extremely tailored. So again, this is for the in-market cohort. This is something that we do.
It's a really excellent clarification. I think that producers will find that really quite useful. So if we now look at what participants can expect in terms of each stream of the Export Pathways program. So there's Export Market Readiness program for the new to market, and the Export Market Development program.
Okay, so for the readiness and development cohorts, the lead up is similar, but it's pitched at a different level according to the experience of the cohort. That means also the case studies that are shared are different too. But in more detail, we start off with a situation analysis. So we'll have a one-on-one meeting with the successful applicants to understand where they're at, what are the goals and vision they have for export, and then what are their goals and vision for the program. So that allows us to then tailor the content, pitch, and in some instances, the topics to cover throughout the 5 workshops, through which it then goes into a one-to-many format program. We cover things from resourcing for export, which range to take, understanding your target consumers, through to the market selection process. So, looking at all the key factors in economic and demographic factors, consumer, channel, and category trends. We look at category data, we look at trade data, we look at who the competitors are in market, and then we go on to deliver market-specific workshops. So the 3 markets that each cohort would like to focus on, we then go through those in a bit of detail, with the view to then helping the companies work on their export pricing models, both from a bottom-up and top-down perspective. We share the tools and resources for companies to be able to do this. We then look at e-commerce as a channel, given its importance now in many of the markets that would be targets of the participants. We will also interview experienced exporters along the way and play those videos in the workshops. So whether we're delivering the workshops in person or online, we will always have a live case study to share. And in some instances, we may be able to bring in some buyer case studies of what buyers are looking for the markets that we're reviewing in the program. We then finish that off with a mentoring session, so that then we can discuss with each company what were their key learnings across the 5 workshops, specifically for them. What do they see as the challenges and opportunities coming out of it? And it's quite interesting to see how companies evolve from the very first meeting, which is a situation analysis of where they're at. They have all that learning, and then they move on to the final part, which is then after they've learned everything, what does it now mean for them, and what do they now need to do to be successful? For those in the EMD stream, the market development stream, they again go on to a market visit program. But for the cohort that's coming through now, there will be the opportunity to have a physical market visit program. And that would include some more detailed market insights relevant to the companies, the on-shelf competitor data sets. Companies, before they travel, we will share videos of their category in store, so they know what to expect and prepare well in advance of arriving in market. We develop the pitch for them in collaboration with them, and then we go on a supermarket tour, and then we meet with pre-qualified buyers from our database, as well as those recommended by in-market Western Australian Trade Investment Commissioners. So quite a comprehensive program, both in the readiness and market development streams.
They do sound like really exciting, unique and valuable programs for participating WA agri-food businesses. Just before we close up, is there anything that you'd like to ask of me, just to clarify some points in the program?
Well, Nikki, yes, I do have a question, because I know from the first cohort, and what was lovely about it was that we had companies from all across Western Australia, so regional Western Australia, as well as in the Metro Perth. If we have a cohort that's spread out like that again, and now that it appears there'll be more opportunity to meet in person, is there any financial support for the regional WA businesses to be able to come in and sit in face to face?
Yes, we're looking at providing a 50% funding for each business to participate in the EPP program for both streams. And in terms of those regional businesses who are located more than 85 kilometres from the CBD, we are looking at providing a travel reimbursement of up to $1,500, and that's to go towards travel and accommodation associated with participating in the program. And obviously that makes it easier and more accessible for regional businesses to participate. Very conscious, being a regional living person myself as well, that we just need to be remembering that it takes more time out of your business to participate face to face. So we're still looking at a flexible delivery option to allow us to benefit from that face to face and interacting with each other, and also provide the flexibility for online interaction as well.
Good. The other something else that I noticed with the first cohort, which was really good, was that often the owner of the business and then the salesperson that was going to be responsible for export both attended the workshops or throughout the whole stream. Will that be an opportunity for companies to do that again?
Yes, in round 2, we're still looking at providing that opportunity. So you can enrol more than one person from your business, but that is at a cost per participant.
Well, I guess the financial support is dollar for dollar. So essentially, the second person is for free.
2 for 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're the only questions that I had, and I'm super excited to be working with the next cohort, and had good results and good feedback from the first group. And you know, this program is only going to get better and stronger. So can't wait to see who's putting their hand up to be part of the program.
Thanks very much for your time, Najib, and look forward to having you in WA.